Hey, it's Kevin. Thanks for coming by for another Road Warrior video blog. You know, I've had this beef, if you will, for years. In fact, I've probably talked about it on the Road Warrior. I looked in the old archive to see if I had, and I couldn't find it, but that didn't mean I hadn't touched on it. I know I've touched on it on my Mason Minute podcast before, but I've got this beef about standard sizing. A guy my size knows, and like I said, in all honesty, when I wear a shirt, it's a 4XL or 4XLT for a tall man's, because I've got both the big and the tall thing going. But sadly, all 4XL shirts or all 4XL t-shirts are not made equal. And I found the same thing when it comes to large and extra large size things. All sizing is not equal. My wife runs into the same thing with whatever size clothing she's wearing. She could be a 6, an 8, or a 10 even. It all varies by where the clothing is made, who makes them, and things like that. And it's just crazy to me. I even have this problem when it comes to hats. You would think, now granted, when it comes to being a 7 3/4 hat person, every hat that's 7 3/4 would fit me, but it doesn't, because some hats I'm a 7 5/8. If you're just doing the small, medium, large, extra large, sometimes I'm an extra large in a hat, and other times I'm a large. It all depends on how they're made. And I don't know why I'm not the only one complaining about this. The standard sizing things, when it comes to just about anything, just drives me crazy. It's almost like standard sizing on ice cream, for that matter. You know, remember when they tried to save costs, so now a half gallon went into so many liters or whatever it was, it's not even really a half gallon anymore. I don't understand why sizing is so difficult. Now, I understand people trying to cut corners, people trying to cut costs, and again, when you're dealing with, especially in clothing, foreign entities that are making the clothing, I would think that a 7 3/4 hat in Bangladesh is the same as a 7 3/4 hat in Saudi Arabia, as is the same in a 7 3/4 hat made in England, made in Sri Lanka, made in the USA. But as we all know, that's not the case. Something that has driven me crazy my entire life, long before I was just a fat guy, even when I was just a tall kid, I always had that same problem. I used to wear a 36-inch inseam pant, then it was a 34, and then I missed the 32 inseam somewhere, and now I'm a 30 inseam. Now, I realize a lot of that has to do with where my belly is and where my waist is dropped to, but I've not lost 6 inches in height. It's also because they're not really 30 inches from the inseam, and the inseam rises change, and it's just crazy. Back next week with more craziness for you. Another Road Warrior video blog. KevinMason.us, our website on the internet where you can find all the Road Warriors. Also throw them up on YouTube, throw them up on Facebook. Again, as I always say, I don't care where you watch. Just ask you to come back again next week, do it again. Another Road Warrior. We'll see you. Have a great week. Stay real.